anandmayi1, one of India's great saints and spiritual gurus. Anandmayi1 means joy permeated mother, a name given to her by her disciples to describe her permanent state of bliss. When we first heard the name anandmayi1, we did not know anything about her, but we have learned a lot since then from my teachers, parents, and class discussions. We also did research on the internet and got information from several websites, including anandmayi1.org, anandmayi1ashram.org, wikipedia.org, and youtube.com. We now know that Sri Anandmayi1 has many wonderful and worldwide qualities. All of us can learn much from her. Actions, examples of life, and practice her teachings in our daily life. Through our presentation today, we hope to introduce Sri Ma to you by highlighting important aspects of her life.
Anandmayi1 was born to a small village called Dora in what is now Bangladesh on April 30th, 1896. She was a religious, prestigious, but not a full Brahmin household. Her given name was Devi, which is translated as pure beauty, and was perfect for her. As she became a lovely child, always cheerful, agreeable, and happy, she was a favorite with everyone, ready to fetch and carry, and to render whatever service required to anyone who asked for it. Nima's mother was a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and was well known for her melodious singing of devotional songs. Nima's mother was a gentle woman, chosen and loved and caring for her family, and later became one of Nima's most prominent disciples.
At the age of 13 in 1908, Nirmala Sinari was married to Ramani Mohan Chakrabarti of Vikrapura. She spent 5 years after her marriage at her brother-in-law's home, where she cooked, cleaned, fetched water, took care of the children, and served her sister-in-law in every way possible. Despite all the hard work and lack of appreciation from her in-laws, Sri Ma remained cheerful and good-humored, always willing to share other people's burdens. Nothing was a chore to her, and her serene attitude and even temper was never disrupted.
At the age of 18, Sri Ma came to stay with her husband at his place of work. In later years, Sri Ma and her devotees referred to her husband by the name Bholenath. At the time of her departure for her husband's house, her mother had told her that she should give the same respect and obedience to her husband as she had given to her father. Throughout her life, Sri Ma was very mindful of her mother's directions and looked up to Bholenath with only deference and affection. One of them, Bholenath chided her for praying to Lord Vishnu, and then the Mama, who started chanting the name of Lord Shiva, because she said, by whatever name you call it, God is the same. Observing Sri Ma's devotion to God and her rapid spiritual progress, Bholenath became his wife's first and foremost friend.
Many years later, when Sri Bholenath died in May 1938, most of the devotees thought that Sri Ma would be distressed, but they were amazed to see that there were no signs of grief. She remained as serene as always, saying gently, "Do you wail and cry if a person goes from one room to another in the same house? This death is connected with this life. Since our soul is immortal, where is the question of death and loss? Nobody is lost to me." This incident shows both Sri Ma's total detachment as well as her deep compassion for everyone.
Anandmayi1 traveled across the Indian subcontinent, never staying more than 2 weeks in the same place. Several ashrams and teaching hospitals were established in her name all over India. She also renovated many holy places. She set up a temple and arranged for the chanting of holy names and the performance of kirtan and other religious rites. One of Sri Ma's earliest disciples was Sri Jyotish Chandra Rai, known as Baiji, who traveled with Sri Ma and Bholenath wherever they went. Baiji served Sri Ma devotedly and faithfully until his death in August 1937. disciples, including several famous people such as Kamala Nehru, the wife of the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, and her daughter, the first woman Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, as well as the well-known industrialist, Mr. Jawaharlal Bajaj, and the father of the nation,
Swami Yogananda Paramahansa visited Sri Ma in 1936. During their meeting, Sri Ma talked about the eternal nature of the soul. My consciousness has never associated itself with this temporary body. Before I come on this earth, Father, I was the same. As a little girl, I was the same. I grew into womanhood, but still I was the same. Ever afterwards, though the dance of creation changes around me in the hall of eternity, I shall be the same. What she was saying is that while my body may change from that of an infant to a young girl, then a young woman, and later to an older woman, throughout all the processes of the changes in the body, the I, or the soul within the body, remains the same. This is the same lesson Lord Thackeray learned from the Guru Moon, which is part of our 3rd grade curriculum. Just like the phases of the moon, though our body may change, our soul remains changeless and eternal.
During our research and study of Sri Anandmayi life, we found out that there are many qualities of the Anandmayi Ma, if all of us can follow. In fact, she is a good example of several of the gurus that we have been studying in Body House. We will highlight some of her gurus, some of her colleagues here. Anandmayi Ma traveled extensively and did not get attached to any name or person. In this respect, she is similar to the gurus air and space, which remain ever pure and unexpected. She was courageous, persistent, and patient, always side whenever they called for help, just like the gurus of Mother Earth, ever giving, tolerant, and enduring.
Anandmayi Ma led a simple life with few possessions and was at home everywhere, similar to the Guru's snake, which does not build a house for itself, but is comfortable in any shelter. Anandmayi Ma treated everyone with the same love and affection, no matter how rich or poor they were, or what religion they practiced. This trait of non-discrimination was also shared by the Guru Honey, which draws nectar from all flowers. By the example of her life, Sri Anandmayi Ma demonstrated how one can live for the benefit of others in this material world, yet remain ever immersed in true God consciousness.
The next class to perform is 5th grade, and they're performing Mukta Bai.